And we are back, everyone. Welcome again to the English stream of RTA in Japan Winter 2025. Slowly closing in the 4 million yen. Perhaps we'll be getting it in the next couple runs. There's not any incentive so far for the couple next game that we have there. I'm trying to take a look carefully though. Yeah, I don't think there's like a incentive so far before Pikmin. Yeah, Pikmin would be the next one with an incentive going on, which has already been realized as well. It should be a dense fight. After finishing the run, that's the description that I get. Yeah, so Sonokuni, in the meantime, it's been on mode hard. Whenever I see a name like this that is fully uppercase and short, I feel like it's like Sanabi. So I feel that it's like a kind of a complex 2D platformer. Sanabi, which was run back in summer 2025 and was a pretty good watch to have. And pretty difficult game overall. It looks like we are switching soon to this, and I will be able to discover what this is about as well. But we are already getting the vibes of this. Let's see what this is about. It is part of a Steam sale as well. Okay, this looks like it has a lot of visual challenge. Yeah, so okay, it's a top-down apparently. Well, no, it's 2D action, top-down. I can search. Okay, there's a lot of tags. I don't think I will reference the tags of Steam directly. So I would assume yeah, speedrun mode does add a timer like we had earlier with Fizz. Yeah, this would be a apparently for what I could see of the Steam page, there could be some psychedelic stuff, but not too hard. But it does have quite a variety of playstyles, it seems, so I'm very curious on how this will go. Alright, so first we have... Oh, is this... Okay, so I guess we have like a Hotline Miami, so this are all the enemies, but if you are not careful, you get one-shot by everything. Looks like we engage like a defensive mode to be able to get rid of the enemy without it attacking us. Yeah, you have to focus into this, unless it forces to slow down. There's a nice little parade there. It is worth noting that not a single word has been spoken so far by the runners and the commentators. Everyone is just vibing into the tunes. Alright, we have actual commentary going on now. So yeah, okay, let's see the hack and slash part and out of views that is working like Hotline Miami. This is just stage one, so maybe each of the stages would have like a different kind of gimmick in terms of for the gameplay. So the first stage would just be a Hotline Miami section, and then we will be switching around to a different game style. Alright, stage one done. Ooh, nice counter there of the projectile. So hard I would assume that the enemies will be a bit more quicker to react, and perhaps the projectiles will potentially be a little quicker.
いけませんのでね、これイヤオにもやっていきたいなということで。
Making sure to countering very well all the attacks on this.
いいですね。敵の種類もいっぱいあるんですけども、例えば灰色の近づいて
Nice parry there against the bullets.
青や赤、オレンジ。
So the difficult aspect of this kind of game, yeah, so at least there's a checkpoint there. You die in one hit, kind of a scruff that we had seen yesterday. But this time though we have a lot more activities going on. Sadly, it seems like one got the hit in the end. But last enemy. Let's see. Okay. Well done there. So our mission for all stages is to try to eliminate as many enemies as possible. Doesn't seem we are able to exit the section before everything has been destroyed. Alright, that's for that section. Without much trouble, we have to go around. Being careful to everything. I'm not sure what all the effects are about. That yellow kind of laser that is a bit confusing for me to figure out what this does. It looks like a kind of a sort of TP or something. Could also be like a kind of explosion launcher of some sort. Pretty well done this to clean up this whole room. When we are entering the room, everyone is triggered whenever we are visible to them. So you got taken down by the lasers so far at the reset. Yeah, so we estimate could be a little generous because of the one-shot aspect and the difficulty. So I'll be surprised if like their PB is like 45 minutes or something like this. Maybe 40 minutes. Continuing the next room there.
というわけで、この中で倒していきますので、いいですね、赤玉。そうですね、玉色々あります。
Fully countering this whole room, very well done. Actually, the projectiles are pretty slow there. Just need to know the size of your hitbox, of your parry hitbox there to be able to counter this quickly. Sadly got sniped there by the other one. A very quick shot though, it's kind of strange.
ものがあるんですけども、それ使ったところで左上に出てるタイマーは止まってくれませんので、基本的に使いません。はい。同じような理由で、最初にオプションでヒットストップ入れたと思うんですけど、
I assume there's like a checkpoint every time you finish off a room, or at least before entering a new one. So it's pretty generous because in Hotline Miami, if I remember correctly, the checkpoints are only there per stage, or at least per floor. So you have to at least to clean the floor before continuing. Well, this time it does seem that we have a checkpoint per room cleared. So it is much more lenient and gentle in comparison. We'll see, because there doesn't seem to be like a system with an alert that goes through the whole floor, but only per room. You got a bit of a bullet hell section there, forcing the charging down bottom to make sure to gain some time. Alright, double counter again there, taking the charge as possible there to gain some time. Second hit done there. Okay, so you can't count. You have to counter the red, but you don't necessarily have to counter the green bullets. Nice. Easy free-face fights or free-hits fights. No death on this. Excellent.
私この楽曲大好きです。私の好きな曲ですね。
Given the visuals and like the aspect of the enemies, it does look like we are in a mix of Hotline Miami, but with the kind of a Lisa world
改めて、
where
詳しく敵の説明したいと思います。
there's a bit of something weird going on there. And we have like a kind of weird vibe as well with the music behind going on.
反応速度ギリギリですね。で、青い球はこれはもう受け流さなきゃならないです。で、赤い球を打つとき、これはもう
Taking that section, so yeah, so it does look like the yellow beam is a kind of a TP for those
どんどん
enemies.
後半に作ると青い球、赤い球同時に飛んできますので、これ
Okay, well done with a counter.
してから赤い球だけ弾き返します。これ以降、球の選別とかに言わ
Got hit by the right enemies, I think. Try to go for the triple hit,
オレンジの、リングを飛ばしてきます。これリング
going for the
本体倒すか、リング打ち返すかですね。
going for the charge without too much trouble. Alright, nice little dodge. Okay, very clean.
なので5秒の、
So enemies are becoming a little bit more sneaky and have like a few different patterns there in their attack. Okay, very tight dodge with the charge of the yellow.
3秒の、制限時間を設けさせられます。これ後半進んでいく
Right,
と
avoiding everything, using the blue circle there to
赤い球、青い球が飛びながら
deviate the blue projectiles.
多分見ててもおそらく
I guess red is counterable. You can parry the red bullets, but the blue are not parryable, so you have to use a deflective shield to make them go down. And if you try to parry them, it could result in like a reverse counter where you actually take the bullet in.
左下の水の敵に見つからないように壁を使って倒す。いいですね。お上手です。素晴らしい。さあこれでステージ3クリア
Alright,
です 。
excellent room there,
ならないですね。なかなかなら
and
ない
finish with stage 3. Or stage 4 actually.
さあここからどんどん
No, stage 3 finish. Okay.
方角で説明したいなと思ったんですけども、このゲーム、海外に見つかってほしいなという気持ちが強すぎて、今回も、海外のイングリッシュスピードラン
Okay, so far easy beginning, not too much. Now we begin to have a little bit more activity, cleaning up the right side room before going into more center section.
Hi, English Speedrun Restreams.
Alright.
Thanks again for all your support. SONOKUNI is localized by Kakehashi Games. So you can
Arigato.
enjoy it even if you don't read Japanese language. If you like Hotline Miami or Celeste, I think you really enjoy this game. Keep watching RTA Japan. Thank you. よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます、Devilman-san.
よろしくお願いします。
Nice little shout out to us, and also for everyone who is interested in Hotline Miami like games. I do recommend Sonokuni for us. Again, Sonokuni is on 30% Steam sale on Steam for those interested into the game.
大胆に、まあ、しっかり
Very fast-paced action, quite unforgiving with one-hit KO characters in this, but much more generous in comparison with a lot more checkpoints. So it could be recommended for people looking for a bit of challenge, but not something too difficult. It could be actually something good to test the waters before trying to go for Hotline Miami for anyone interested. Well, Hotline Miami does have like a more psychedelic kind of viewpoint in comparison with a lot more colors. While this one is a bit more tamed in terms of all the animations.
ぐるっと回り込んできたり、敵に攻撃させずに、角に来てくれたりしますので、
You also can kind of a die and retire aspect where if you die with doing the loop incorrectly, you can just retire very quickly and try to change your strategies to figure out how to do the thing more properly.
これ敵は倒さずに来てもらう方が基本的には早いです。
Rumor, it was a big one as well, so it could have been a big time loss.
よりは敵の方
Dodging
が
both charges there very nicely.
来てもらうっていうことを基本的にはやります。
Two charges dodged with an instant cleanup of the last two enemies.
基本的には来てもらった方が楽かなとは思っております。さあ、今度2回行きます。さあ、ぐるっていって、この小部屋がいくつか続いていきます。
Back to the second floor in this.
倒します。はい、ここ。倒して受け流して。
One shot cleaning everything, dodging the blue and countering the red. Really well done so far.
体を出して、これでも敵の奥の敵をおびき寄せてますね。はい、左下の部屋。受け流して弾点別してからいいですね。はい、敵が
Mobile frog jumping. There hasn't been a lot of frog jumping from those enemies. So that would be what the green is about.
はい、ちょくちょく
Okay, okay.
セレストとかホットラインマイアミっていうゲームは
Oh yeah, this could be actually a bunch of flags. Oh, I can see that. Okay,
ここ
okay.
に来たら敵がここに来るから倒そうみたいなことをやってるゲームのかなりこう
So did there just before ending that floor?
倒そうっていうことを
Dodging the charge, cancelling the two leads. Excellent.
行うんですけども、それもあちこちに壁があればの話。
But there seems to be many enemies so far. There's like, I think 5 or 6 types of enemies that we have seen, with red attackers, blue launchers, yellow and green charging, and the purple slow guy.
左の部屋行きましょう。
The bottom with that final room there, just need to clean up the bottom left, and I think we should be over with that floor.
さあステージの最後ですね。さあ最後ちょっと大部屋なので、まあ時計回り
Seems like we're going into the boss section.
時間かかりますので。
So a boss potentially every 2 floors. Actually, every 2 stage.
いいですね。でどんどん下行きます。
But never mind, it was actually the jump towards part 2 of this whole stage.
最後パイロット倒していいですね。これで入れたらボス戦の族長オグです。オグ戦です。その国の族長なんですけども、ちょっ
The
と
boss is there. Okay,
これ
so
を倒します。
looks like we have like 2 weak points.
青玉使いの雲を受け流します。これを2セットこれを2回やって立ち位置決めます。はい。で、最後族長の頭が飛んでくるので倒します。はい。
So destroying the enemies. Okay, so two attacks from the boss, and then he launches its head, and you can deal the damage there. Okay.
立ち位置決めて殴ると、通常よりも、まあ、殴る回数が少なかったり、今調整してます。
So the second charge again.
はい。ここ立ち位置、これ攻めの立ち位置です。
Dodging the objects, and now we attack the boss
はい、
again.
いいですね、素晴らしい。素晴らしい。
Double hit there, that's very nice.
本来の挙動を見せることできないんですけども、本来は
So you might be on the final phase of this boss. Lot more objects, 3 spiders.
ことをやるんですけども、実はこの立ち位置を決めると、
One more round.
とどめを刺すってことをしなくてもいいっていうことが分かってます。はい、第3回目ですね。
1, 2, 3 deflected. Time to hit the boss. 1, 2, 3. Excellent.
さあ、ステージ4も順調にクリアしました。
Excellent boss
さあ
done.
ステージ5ですね。さあ、屋形船が見えますけどもね、多分パリピの
Stage 5.
屋形船ですね。さあ、ここ、
I guess it's a like kind of contra-like aspect where we are facing against a bunch of aliens that are invading Earth, the frog aliens.
迷路のようになってます。これがちょっとめんどくさい。一つの部屋に対して入れる方向が2
That's like we get new types of enemies if I've missed it.
くるんですけども、むつきさん、
Actually, no, we do have some new ones. Like those grey,
チャット GPT に
those grey beams there are kind of new, I think.
まあマップを簡略
I'm very quick with of both of these rooms currently.
封鎖してっていうことをやって、じゃあ
One blue, one red there. Still have to do the slow one. Already got charge. Excellent. Pretty close.
まあこれはもう経験による、まあこうやったら早いんじゃないかという、チャートで、
Canceling all the dashes of all those previous charge enemies before this.
さあ入ってここ壁使って一つね撃たれないように。
Nice. Three slow lasers there. Have to dodge everything.
紫倒してから
Oh, yeah. I did not notice that those blue missiles were actually homing.
ギリ間に合います。いいですね。
Good to know. I actually did not notice that before.
弾の選別をして
Yeah, okay, that was difficult. That's red and blue. Okay, we need to make sure that red and blue
は
are
い、大丈夫です。
kind of discarded.
さあ、赤の弾を撃ってくる刀持ちの赤い敵は、
Yeah, so he had to instantly switch from red from parry to blue shielding to make sure that he could deflect that third one.
さあ下行きま
Tough
す。
job, but was able to get it in like 3 attempts.
でいいですね。さあもう一回弾選別して倒す。いいですね。さあ左に行きながら弾を選別しながら、いいですね。ブラスター
Clean stuff so far, deflecting, getting the two enemies down before
さあここ
exiting.
いいですね。青の敵
I think there's also a prevention to not be able to leave the room before it has ended.
さあ戻ります。
But he was still able to get those enemies nearby the exit and destroy them to reduce the amount of time
ちょっと進んで
to exit.
はい。かわしつつ弾の選別も行う。
Very short zoom there.
屋形船。さあ弾を打ち返して
Okay, 3 beams with 1 red, 1 blue deflection. Nice. Not sure what the grey beam does so far.
まだゴール入れないので
Try to figure out
完全に
what this is about.
DJ がなんかやってますね。はい。DJ が音楽流してるところを、
DJ section
勝ち込みです。はい。
with a bunch of colors on the dance floor.
黒い壁を使って、倒してそうですね。今度オレンジがいっぱいいますので全部打ち返します。いいですね。
Okay, everything charging in one spot.
進んで上下の順で、水色を倒して
deflecting the blue there.
いいですね。はい、ご覧の通り解説が追いついておりません。よろしくお願いいたします。
Second half of the stage.
振り向く前に出ていいですね。
Bunch of red, thankfully. Everything deflected in one shot. Can you 1, 2, 3 charges, getting rid of all these two small enemies going in. Going to deflect one blue bullets again.
さあ下の部屋行きましょう。いいですね。はい。回り込まれる前に倒してます。
This is what a change from just the cute dragon game that we had earlier, I must say.
しまいますので、角の中にこうやって角待ちをして敵を倒すということをやってます。いいですね。ちょっと危なかったですね。はい、ここも
So far, the runner藍川睦月 has been doing a very good job handling the run so far.
あ、ちょっとダメでしたね。
We've only reset Restream is kind of something that is correct for a marathon setting as well. He's been able to react very quickly to all the patterns that have been emerging from the enemies that were shooting. I'm not so sure if from the deflecting shield and the parrying, you have to actually switch some kind of stance to be able to do that. Oh, missed the deflection a little bit too late. Right. Only blue enemies, that's nice. Just got to deflect the final blue. Kind of nasty spawn there. Alright, only red so far, very nice. Easy dodge. One deflection, one parry. Okay, two parries again.
さあ最後は、ゴール手前の部屋を攻略したら、ステージ5クリアですね。
It looks like we have cleared everything. Okay.
倒して赤玉打ち返して
Alright, so we can continue towards the direction of the exit, and this is clear. One final enemy to defeat, and we are good.
ここが、最初の山場です。ここ激ムズです。今までみたいにカチッとした部屋ではありません。部屋の形も複雑な上に敵がめちゃくちゃ
Stage 6, which most likely has another boss by the end of it.
先ほどからずっと言ってる紫と水色の
No new introductions so far from what I can see. Oh, big room where we have to actually move slowly. Could get rid of this, nice. Okay. Okay, so there's like you can activate the shield and both parry at the same time. Okay, so the earlier death that we have seen, there must have been like a kind of delay happening. Oh. That one just got through the charge, just got to charge a little bit too quick there. Alright, got to dodge another charge, excellent. Deflection, deflection, very well handled so far. It's a very big room though. Our checkpoints are actually spotted with a door, so they are at least visible, and we know the size of each of the rooms that have to be cleared by this.
今度さっき見えてた、右側の端の方を進んでいきます。ここですね。はい、ここちょっと敵が複雑なのでね、抜け流しながら下の方にオレンジに見つかりつつ倒すといいですね。中央行ってからちょっと上が上がる。いいですね。
Bottom there. Okay, two deflection, one parry.
で倒すと。はい、いいですね。素晴らしい。さあ次下行きます。
Nice. There's a bit of a tricky situation there where blue and red was still existing. Just a bunch of slowdown enemies doing nothing. Looks like you got to clean only a couple of eliminate section this. Okay, so that's a bit weird. We got some sort of like a isometric section in this. Well, it's not quite squarey, but more like parallelograms. So you have to do that to lead to a different vision of the game.
さあここ次、入って中央まで行って弾を受け流します。いいですね。
It's nice to get to zoom in on the enemies that are still remaining alive. So very highly zooming in on the last enemy that was remaining in that floor, that room just before this.
ここも壁意識して突進をかわしていいですね。
And running about short charge easily.
かわしていいですね。で、紫を意識しながら赤を倒すと。
Okay. There is a thank you to say whenever the room is cleared as well. So you're able to know just by the sound alone whenever you can leave your room there.
からショートカットができます。
Okay, so this has an extra subsection to do before leaving this area.
ちなみに
Alright, 2 deflect and 1 parry plus deflect. A bit difficult to know the timing sometimes where the deflect will have to happen in comparison to when you have a parry. Because there's a bit of leniency with the hitbox to get a late parry, a late deflect on those blue bullets compared to the red.
はい、倒します。いいですね。ここも壁意識しながら、
Okay, really well done for that room.
素晴らしい。
Oh,
さあ戻ります。
everything shredded into pieces. Right, so there's another extra room section there. Oh, you really have to go out of your way to... for
いいで
this.
すね。ここに進んで倒して突進かわしてで右ですね。右
I do wonder if this is like part of the game to
いいですね。
have knowledge on
ここ目の前
all the locations of the room to where the enemies have to be defeated.
いいですね。さあここ一旦左
Because so far we did have seen 100% kill completion for all the stages so far.
左
Oh, nice deflect on those 2 other enemies.
でここ一旦呪われてますけども、まあ
Going pretty smoothly so far. I haven't seen a death in quite some time.
あっと良くなかったですね。
Yikes.
出しです。
Well, I had to say
部
it.
屋なんでね。1ミスちょっと
You know, it's on me. I will accept this.
はい。基本的に結構
Alright,
こうなりが
just
ち
getting
結構ね、
a bit
走りがちなんで
a lot of time with the deflection of those 2 first enemies.
からいきます
I finally got through this.
ちらっと今出ましたけど、ボス部屋
No shredder.
はい、あと7部屋ありました。はい、次行きますね。
Small deflect, there's one more, smaller
赤玉
parry, one deflection.
いいですね。
Okay.
さあ、ここちょっと左からぐるって回って、左下行って
Looks like
から
we may be coming up on the final section of this stage.
でここ下にあるここ壁を利用して角に来てもらいます。いいですね。
A big floor there with deflect enemies.
さあここも中央の
I wonder if there's like actual contact damage, or if the enemies, when you are too close to them, can just trigger an instant
入れないので敵を
kind of
敵をして倒すしかありません。
contact attack against you.
刀持ちが来るので切られないように注意。さあ、ボス部屋行きましょう。ステージ6のボス部屋です。
Okay, so looks like the stage is now over.
いけるといいな。入れないと残り1部屋出てますから。あ、行きましたね。さあ、ボス戦、和の国の機関車戦です。
Alright, so
青の
that's
金魚の玉と、十字のビーム、そして、今、ぐるぐる
alright. So we're on the bullet hell section now.
これらに当たらないよ
Blue
う
to deflect everything.
2周
We
で
do a
は
full turn.
こちら難易度が緩和されております。ありがとうござい
I'm
ま
not
す。
sure if you have to deflect the bullets onto the other bosses,
難しさが分かってるんですけど、
or what will trigger the damage.
が増えてるし、増えてたし、またこ
So we have those blue bullets to deflect, and you also have to dodge the pinwheels that occasionally spawns
ダメ
in.
以上に大きいかなっていう感じがすごくして非常に避けづらかったですけども、こちら、緩和されております。今はもう見た目通りに金魚の見た目通りに飛んできますので、まあまあプレイしやすいかな、うん、プレイしやすさと難しさはまた別なんですけどもまだこれでも十分難しいんで
Double set of pinwheels that is spawning in.
ぐるぐる
The location of their final placement, but not necessarily the location easily of where they will be spawning.
1周6周すると真ん中にねステージのボ
There's
ス
not much possibilities to be
落ちてくるので
in any place anyway.
はい
Alright, and finally got to the boss there.
機関車に
We got the first boss with like an extra shield.
いいですね、突進はい突進した後に受け流しボタンを押
Okay, I guess the boss is allied now, and he's also a big mount.
おめでとうございます。
We rush Charlie to everything and destroy. That's very well done.
さあステ
For
ー
the
ジ
scarier stages, boss,
結構 まあまあ
In terms of time loss, it looks like
ちょっと難しいんじゃ
a
な
lot
く
of
て
waiting there.
大変です。というのも、大部屋がいっぱいあります。
Okay, so outside in a simulated parking lot there,
非常に時間がかかりま
a
す。
bit of outdoor section, just missing the slowdown satellite dish.
ここ、はい、時計回りに進んでいきます。
So far, the same enemies that you have seen, nothing new from what I can see.
はい、で上行きます。
Just have a deflector and Pelias going around again.
はい、
Good job as well. We had to clean up that whole section after
左
entering.
奥のなんか牛舎の近くあたりで敵を倒すといい感じ、いいですね。
Okay, oh, we just had the one room. Okay, so now just have to go through the whole way back.
やられないように、まあ慎重に、でもまあタイムがありますので。
So it looks like we'll be cleaning up every building of the location.
左行きます。
Oh no, it does seem like the one they cleaned earlier was in
赤田は緑、
kind of a side building there.
最後は紫あたり
And now we are in the main area
赤い
to
ところ壁ですので、ちょっと
clean.
打っていくと奥から来てくれます。はい、いいですね。
Okay, good clean on this.
気持ちいいですね。はい、綺麗に倒しました。い
I'm just shredding like 15 enemies in one go.
いですね。さあ、そっちはこう大部屋ですね。さあ、どんどん右に向か
So
って。
far these enemies are not been too scary.
いいですね。
Might be tolerable pretty soon. There's also looks like a big section there.
ここかわす場所がすごい狭いんですけど、今のようにするとうまくかわせますね。
While the earlier stage had red gates to make it visible to know which room was not clean, or at least where the room locations were. This one seems it's only there was small green
さあ、ここ、
グリーンド
を使ってぐるっと来てもらいます。いいですね。ここ、
I guess it depends. There seem to be like multiple cues as to which separation there are.
いいですね。
Like we see those green separation, purple separation there.
さあ、ここ大部屋。大部屋をいくつか攻略してきます。
So it does depend on which section those are present that we know where we know we have a checkpoint to clean up a whole room or not.
倒して紫倒すと。次右上の部屋です。水色倒して。
But so far we haven't heard the sound cue, so all those enemies are part of one single big room there,
なので一旦左行きます。
waiting that enemy to trigger its attack before slashing to the end.
いいですね。素晴らしい。
Nice. Okay, that room is clean.
さあ、今度
We hold the queue.
左
So we can continue further
青のね
inside that building.
来るんでちょっとここら辺使って
Had a double there.
はい。まあいっぺんに倒すと。
Looks like we have multiple enemies at once in that
この
place.
隙間がいいです。この隙間が入る
Okay, one deflection. Okay,
ここ
good.
突っ込みます。で最後に右、
Two parries with red.
さあここもまだ階段登らず右行きます。はい、右下に久保ちゃんで久保ちに入って倒す。
I like how the music of the game has like that grainy aspect to the sound.
下の方行きます。
Like it's got something that is like old school, like 32, 16-bit that you could listen.
で倒す。いいですね。はい、今度、敵がぐるーって回ってきてくれるので、ちょっと上持ってか
It
ら
does reflect well the aspect of the game, which is kind of, at least at the very start, something that is a little bit distorted and kind of weird going on with all the backgrounds that are in check in there.
さあどんどん上行きますが、今度左の方の大部屋ですね。小部屋が3つのところもう一回やります。赤玉打ち返して敵倒して。
Alright, one nice parry there. Have to dodge the charge. Also, the charge spawns in an extra bullet.
一旦青を倒してから赤玉全部打ち返して、
Okay.
紫
Nice, nice parry on all of those enemies.
階層もクリア。
Clean over the room perfectly.
今度屋上行きます。八方塞がりです。
But it is quite an unusual game to look at.
さあ今度まずは、下ですね。屋上の敵ここら辺倒していきます。
So it's gonna be backing out of that whole building section. Actually going outside with a car that is parked sideways, since this is a top-bottom vision.
大丈夫ですけども、最初はちょっと目を切らず
So the car is just parked on its doors.
3つ目赤玉倒して緑倒
So
して
it's just a way to do
素
things.
晴らしい。残り3部屋ですね。はい、今度右の方行きます。
It looks like okay. It seems like you're in the favela kind of area there, with like the
オレンジの突進させずに倒します。
all over the rooftops.
さあここ牛舎を置いてる部屋ですね。ちょっと右下の方進みつつ、
So more like in a kind of gang section
さあここ縦に
in the streets.
いい感じに倒せます。で水色、紫といって青を攻撃させずに赤倒す。はい、
I'm still wondering. We could be like in a complete alien world, and so this would be normal.
さあステージ
Okay, stage 7 done.
ステージ8は7と違って
Next boss stage.
がきっちりした小部屋ばかりの部屋です。
I feel like we're in a casino.
ずっと続いてきますけど、
That's my vibe with the first thing I've seen.
の配置でもう全然こう操作まあ難易度が違いますので。
I got charged by one of those enemies, so I had to take it there.
ここ攻撃届くので青を出せる前に殴っていく。
Contact enemies.
この左から入って赤
Good cuts. I don't know.
はい、ここ届きます。はい、
And also, compared to Hotline Miami, this game doesn't. Oh, that's sad.
青は
Got overcharged. Okay, if I just missed the parry on the post charge enemy.
体散らさしして緑の突進
Yeah, compared to Hotline Miami, there's no guns there. It's only
はい次今度左ですね。左から突進
it's only katana
ちょっとね空振ると
katana sort of like contact damage based, like more like a
できません。
kind of reminiscent of Katana Zero.
まあ実質墨です。
This could be
から終わりです。
another inspiration for this, like a Hotline Miami with a Katana Zero.
今度突進だけの敵の
I know that in that game there was also like a kind of psychedelic section that exists depending on the
でここも気合でかわします。
route chosen during the progression of the game. Right, when he got through, suddenly missed one parry it
素晴ら
seems.
しいお上手。
Okay.
いいですね。
Nice
さあ
done.
ここちょっと気持ちいい。綺麗ですね。いいですね。
Nice. Choosing the tornado spin.
はい、拍手ありがとうございます。
Okay.
青を倒して水色を倒してオレンジ緑の順。一旦廊下出ます。廊下出
Right,
て
good deflect.
から入ります。右からですね。
Doing all of these rooms efficiently is pretty rough because you have to be aware of what kind of attack you have to parry, counter, or deflect, depending on the case. And there's a good thing you do have the audio keys that are helping.
で、2部屋ありますのでね。左から。
But you also need to get the quick reaction time to
さあいけるかな。
being able to be in the right state of deflection and parry at the time.
ありがとうございます。
But also if you have like some other enemies, you also have to avoid the charges and be mindful of all the potential extra spawn there that are happening. Which, to be fair, the extra
多すぎるんですけど、それはどう
the bullet that spawns after the charge of those other enemies could be something that is exclusive to Harmon.
下行くと奥の敵がぐるって回ってきてくれるので攻撃
Could be something to be aware of. Whereas in normal mode, there might be a bit less bullets to deflect counter, depending on
奥ちょっとね奥ばっ
what's happening. Although there are not revenge bullets, from what I can see, so at least there's not that.
右左と倒す
Which would also not make much sense in this kind of game.
いいですね。奥の敵倒しにいけないのでこうやって体出しておびき寄せることもします。いいですね。はい。
Okay, back into the earlier section. Clean off some more rooms. Let me detected by those two other enemies. Which is kind of weird because even though there's so much noise going on now, not all the room enemies are triggered by this. It's only the ones that can see you. So another part of the leniency that these games offer compared to Hotline Miami.
ラストステージ9です。
さあ最後9
Okay.
最後ステージ9残り4
Okay, so no boss in the previous stage, but this is the final stage, so that's why there was no boss. What?
進化しかないです。
ないです。どっちかしかないです。
Oh, it looks like we're in a kind of rich children's book. Like a two-face Kirby on the top left.
はい、敵かわして倒してまあ
So this is like the most difficult section there.
突進と赤玉
Doesn't seem to be clear queues outside those
空振りましたね、また。
brown gates.
素晴らしい。今遮蔽物なかったんで今の部屋も
Okay, there's some warp zone. Okay,
ちょっと攻めます。
so warp zone will be the main means to go through these sections.
お上手。 何がお上手かっていうと
Being stage run, this means this must be extremely long compared to the estimate that we got given with Bavaran.
間に合わないとなのでおびき寄せて攻撃を倒すんですけども本来はまあ
Going through, there's one more enemy, two more enemies that are spawning. Okay.
結構小さな
Good clean there.
なんですけど激ムズなんだけどすごく大事ですねさあ次の階層いきましょう
Okay.
さあ次左ですここ
You have to pay attention as well as of the shape of the room that is present. Okay, nice. A lot of deflection and parry there. Very well done.
お上手いいですねここも狭いんでかわす場所が少ないんですけどうまいこと
Because he has to switch every so often with like two buttons between like the attack and the parry.
いいですね素晴らしい
It doesn't look like there's also a countdown as to when you are able to use the parry and the deflective. Okay, nice parry overall. Nice revenge there from the previous death.
難しいしかないんでね
はい
はい
Short section, so
めっちゃ狭いですかわす場所ない
there's a lot of short sections
素晴らしい
into
一発で
this.
決まりましたおめでとうございます
That maybe eat the alien mothership.
なんとなくまあ狭いから難しいなって多分伝わったと思いますけどもやってみると5分10分続き
So
ま
to
す
be fair, I'm not sure if like a kind of
ここもそうですね左右から水色の敵が狙ってくる
we
の
do
で
be running pretty weirdly as we're just splitting our legs and arms. Like we were doing on our
ここも上手でしたね
こちらですね、私
four limbs instead of just being walking around.
同じことをして
It might also be like a kind of
マジで冗談抜きです
本当はスローモーション
anthropomorphic creatures that can use like abilities from
ここ
from something else.
左からぐるっと倒しますいいですねここ入る前で気合で
more shield section there. Have to deflect one parry. Nice.
倒してオレンジ倒すタイミン
Two
グで
parries very quickly done. Avoiding the charge and the post deflective bullet.
ここちょっと見た目以上に難しいですコンスタントに敵の攻撃が来ますので
I wonder if those other bullets you can choose between deflect or parry. Obviously, the parry choice would be the faster way to defeat those enemies that are throwing those, but we never know.
水色にぶつかって
This could be an option in between like the red and the blue that we have seen so far.
倒していいですね
Okay, got to deflect a bit before attacking.
どっちかなじゃあ左からはい左行って受け流しをやりつつ赤玉だけ
So far, the stage has been pretty clean. Like we got a couple deaths here and there, but not something that are too costly.
青と赤と選別が
Like overall, aside from that one room in stage 5, if I remember correctly, or stage 6, the Vanad's been very clean so far. Only very quick deaths and not too many resets. Like I think we have maybe like 40, maybe 30-40 resets overall. We might have a counter at the end of a final boss at that point.
狭いのに突進と弾が一緒に飛んできますここ激ムズです
Right, a lot of blue dodges there.
突進と
Yeah.
青の弾ですね受け流し
So he wants to defeat at least one of those enemies quickly to make sure that he's kind of safe. Right, when he got through, excellent.
これで大きい難所は超えましたね
Very difficult section.
ミニグラムです
Okay, two blue defeated. Nice. Okay, nice little beaver after this.
変わらない部屋行きますのでさあここも、赤いところが壁なので壁を使って敵をおびき寄せて倒しますいいですね次の階層へ
Sorry, I'm just vibing a little with all the music with the background.
壁なのでここ壁を使って敵を倒すと危ないいいですねさあここ右奥行きます
Okay, continuing. So, another parry, very simple room there. So one more enemy.
さああとはもう通常
Oh, that was another enemy that was launching a blue parry. So, deflect.
はいここ倒して突進かわしていきますいいですね
But now we are back to some more active stuff. Being careful as to when to parry and deflect. Okay. Still very quick stuff to deal with.
さあ一旦中央行ってから弾選別して倒しますいいですね
Alright, blue and red, nice.
一旦
Got rid of the charging. Two deflection, excellent. We got to finish the room there. It's
はい最後です
yeah, the final now.
倒してリザルト画面が出たらタイマーを止めてください
So let's see.
はい遮蔽物ないので気合でかわします
Oh, so we are tiny actually. We're just very tiny and very far away.
中央に来た時に最後の攻撃をしますので
So it looks like to defeat a
最初の
触れます
okay bunch of enemy waves.
いけるかな
Alright, good
で
deflect.
きました素晴らしい。お
Parry.
めでとうございます。
Alright. One deflect there, we got one hit in.
最後の大玉も、至近距離で打ち返すということもやってます。はい、あと2セットあります。はい、開
Alright,
幕の
part 2 of this. We might have a checkpoint to all those bosses sections.
私は右に行きます。
The enemies are spawning in. We can't get rid of everything, we have to dodge all those big ones there. Alright, second sphere.
次の3
We also have to go down to dodge the village laser that is spawning on the top.
どんどん左に進んでいきます。
そろそろタイマーストップの準備お願いします。
お願いします。さあ、
Right.
出てくる敵と
So we might be on the final hit there. Another very quick run if it's the case.
あのすげ
Thing is into things a little bit more unhinged compared to the usual.
どんどん進んでいって大玉を打ち返した後に左上の紫を倒したら
Okay, we got the final hit it seems. Yep.
は
Alright.
い、おめでとうございます。お疲れ
Good
様でした。
times. Yeah, as expected. Yeah, I had a look at count. 45 resets overall.
インゲームタイム
Very good. Almost a
ラストということで、
はい。
sub 41.
世界2位の記録ですね、これは。
はい、どうでし
Yeah,
ょう
it was a very well done run from
はい、
our runner so far.
自己こちらの自己ベスト41分ってあると思うんですけ
Yeah,
ど、これちょっと
I see the Hotline Miami vibes and the mix with
15秒です。
Katana Zero actually.
ベストに対しても
Yes, as I think it was Devilman said, the game is available on Steam in the winter Steam sale, 35%. At least for me locally, it is at
タイムを出した理由としてちょっと
just under 10 euros for those who are interested in this.
もう山
And for those who like very fast-paced action game with
こちらで
pretty unforgiving kind of danger style like aspect where you don't have any extra life points available for this.
これは大事。
はい。
はい、お礼は参り、必ず皆さんもやってください。
そしてですね、この
Thanks to Devilman and Aikawa. I think Devilman did the shout out to us, so thank you Devilman for this. Arigatou gozaimasu. And Aikawa Mutsuki for doing such an elegant
はい、
performance.
というわけで、インディーゲーム、ぜひ皆さんやってほしいってことちょっと言って終
So
わりたい
after
ので
this, we'll have Muramasa Rebirth Gendoku Legends that is run by our volunteer GOP remotely. We'll have some good luck there, and we'll have Lucifer accompanying us through this whole
バット1本で天国目指したりとか
through the full run as well.
そしてもちろん場の国に勝ち込みにしても OK です。ぜひインディーゲームの沼にはまっていただければと思います。
Yeah, lots of small indie games in this in the RTA Japan winter are available for sale there. So no hesitation in trying to get in.
まずはゲーム遊んで気に入ってくれたらと思います。さあというわけで我々はねそろそろ時間ですので、ね、次のゲームの準備がありますので我々は失礼したいなと思います。さあ
So we have
2025ここまではその国のスピードランでした。奏者は相川
私相川睦月と
そして解説のデビルマンでした。どうもありがとうございました。
we have Muramasa Rebirth Death's Door, and we have a game that got added as backup, Calling New Game Plus True Ending. That will be following after this. So switching up to the next run, I will be going off for a little break, and we will be back very soon for the next section.